everyone, I hope you're having a great day. I had a cool opportunity last week to help give a tour or answer questions for some potential applicants that were at our school. The two girls that were there had already been accepted to the school and were just kind of feeling out where they wanted to go. And it got me really thinking about last year, kind of when I was going through this process. And once you've been accepted, before you actually start, for me, there was this kind of awkward gap where I had already finished all my prereqs and I was just kind of sitting around waiting to start grad school and just working and not really, I would have liked to know how could I have prepared for grad school, or was there anything I could have done before going to grad school that I really would have liked to know. So now that I've been through a semester, there's a couple of things that I wish that I could have prepared for, or that I would have spent a little bit of time on before grad school. So I had just 3 things. The first one is I really would have gone back and kind of reviewed the basics of statistics. In my school, the first, I think it was 5 or 6 weeks, we had really intense statistics overview, and it was just a really difficult start to the semester because I hadn't had statistics for 5 years, and it was just all of a sudden right away 5 really intense weeks of statistics that I didn't remember at all. So it was just 5 really intense weeks of statistics very early on, and I wish that I had brushed up on statistics. I didn't realize how much statistics we would even be using, and really it was just those first 5 weeks that we really intensely needed to know them. But I definitely struggled through those first couple weeks more than I would have liked, and it just would have been nice to have a more basic understanding and just to have refreshed prior to those weeks, so that I think I would have gotten a lot more out of those 5 weeks, and it wouldn't have been so difficult and so time consuming. So that's one thing I would have done. Another thing I would have done is I did not come from a research background at all. My undergrad major was graphic design, and so I had never really been required to look at any research papers or any published research at all. I'm sure that I've read previously some research, but I'd never been really forced to critically look at it, and it would have just been nice, I think, for me to have gone on just like Google Scholar or something and just typed in, occupational therapy and, whatever, something in the field, doesn't matter, occupational therapy and autism, or just any issues that occupational therapists cover, and just looked at a couple of research articles and read them and just kind of looked at, okay, this is how research is written, and this is how, I would have liked to have been a little bit more familiar with it, because I really had never had to look at it. It'd been a long time since I'd looked at it, and then we had a whole class where we had to look at it all the time, and it was just a struggle not even being familiar with it really that much at all, to then have to look at it very critically. So it would have been nice, to just have gone to Google Scholar and said, hippotherapy and cerebral palsy, and then seeing what research came up, or if anything, or low vision in aging adults. Just anything that you're particularly interested in, and not to read it critically or do anything crazy, but just to kind of, read a couple research articles and get used to, at least with occupational therapy research, or really any therapy research, how it's laid out, what's structured, what are the good things about it and the bad things, and nothing too deep or too complicated, but just to kind of refresh, so that when I jumped into that class, I wasn't so far behind some of my peers who'd been doing research all the time. And then the last thing would be, and this one isn't really specific to my school, because as I did my last video, is how to prepare for anatomy. And it's just that if I did know that I was going to have anatomy, I probably would have prepared for anatomy as well. Luckily, we have it our second semester, so I didn't have to worry about that, and I have been preparing over the break. But in some programs do have anatomy first semester, and so just taking the time to prepare, I have a whole video on that I'll link below and probably on the screen right now. So just taking some time to prepare for anatomy. I think those 3 things, it's not anything too complicated, but it just would have helped me so that I was more on par with peers who had, had those experiences with research, statistics, and anatomy more recently than I had. I think they really would have been helpful. So good luck. I hope you're having a great day. Bye.